Mission Pro Wrestling, the symbol of excellence in women's sports entertainment.
Good evening, Mission Pro family, and welcome to Mission Pro Spotlight. I am Mind Runner, not Mid Runner, as Thunder Rosa and some of you like to call me. Anyways, I'm super excited because we have a very special guest joining us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen,
it's Brittnie, bitch.
It is Brittnie, bitch, and it is none other than the Arizona All-Star, the center of attention. In fact, let's make sure she's the center of our attention. Brittnie Brooks. Brittnie, how are you? And thanks for joining us.
I'm good. I'm a little scared with that animation dancing. That was crazy.
Yeah, I got a little carried away with the AI dance. There's a thing called Viggle where you can take an image and you can make them dances. And I just wanted to have like a regular intro for you, but I got playing around with the, like, I guess the Fortnite emojis or whatever, the dances. So I know it's really scary what AI can do, but I don't know. Maybe that's what you would look like in the WWE 2K or something, like the video games or something, or No Mercy or something like that.
There's definitely some people that have created me. I always see stuff on Twitter of people like tagging me like, oh, I created you in the game. I was like, lit.
Yeah, let's go. Awesome. Do you play a lot of the wrestling games, or is it too are you too behind the business now and you're kind of like, no?
I mean, I liked playing them. I just like don't have a console in my room. Like my brother has kind of all the consoles, but I got the game and everything, like the newest one. And I always had them growing up and played them when I was like younger, but now I don't really play them as much anymore, but I would like to.
Do you ever get inspired though? Like, oh, that would be a cool finisher. That'd be a cool move.
Yeah, definitely. I'll like go on to YouTube of people just scrolling through moves, and I'll be like, oh, that's a good move. I'm going to use that. I'm going to take that. Like there's moves I've definitely done where I'm like, oh, I literally am looking for like moves, and I just scroll through the game.
I'm going to call that the Arizona Sunset. Let's go.
Oh.
Something like that. Well, we always kick off our chats with a segment that's totally not ripping off Sean Evans from Hot Ones, totally not ripping off him at all. But it's called Insta Insanity, where we take a peek at some select photos, totally tasteful photos from your Instagram, and get the story behind it. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Insta Insanity.
Welcome! It's Insta Insanity!
All right, Insta Insanity. By the way, we got the chats blowing up. We got, here we go. Hey, greetings from Costa Rica. It was fun. I follow her. I wish she can come here to wrestle. I'll definitely pay for a ticket. Costa Rica's calling for you. And, of course, we got Matthew in the chat. I hope you heal, and we'll see you back in action soon. Everybody's blowing it up here. But it's time for Insta Insanity. And, Brittnie, we'd like to get the story behind these pictures. Now we're going to get this one out of the way.
Okay.
This one's kind of a bummer, but let's get it out of the way.
Oh.
Notice that much like Chris Statlander, or as some people call her, Chris Snacklander, you have both of these pictures. You have the opposite knee. So tell us about these two photos and how you stay positive through injuries.
Well, the photo on the right is from when I tore my right ACL, and that was like 2 years ago. And then the photo on the left is like just at the last Dreamwave show 2 months ago because I tore my left ACL. Sometimes it's hard to stay positive because, like, obviously the thing that I love most, my income, everything is just like taken away from me because I can't wrestle anymore. So like it's definitely hard, but I also know that like everything happens for a reason. And if I stay focused on how negative and how horrible I feel, I'm never going to get better. I'm never going to mentally get back to where I was and beyond. So I know that it's just really important to just stay positive. And I'm going to have surgery next Thursday on my left. I had to wait 2 months, which is really hard because like 2 months of just waiting for a surgery to not be able to walk. Like I couldn't walk for a couple weeks, like when I first tore it, then it progressively got better, but like it just buckles on me randomly and stuff like that. So I'm like, can I please just get the surgery done? I tore it June 8th and I don't get surgery till August 8th. Like that's literally 2 full months. So it's driving me crazy, but I'm glad that it's almost finally here.
Well, we hope a speedy recovery, whatever Wolverine juice, X-Men stuff we can give you to heal up. And, one thing to take comfort in, because, in wrestling, there are a lot of injuries. And I do think it's great that in today's wrestling environment, I don't know if you agree, but, and it might be a little bit different on the indies versus some of these companies, but there is more attention to health and wellness. Instead of in the indies, it was like, if you're hurt, you can't work. And there are some people working with concussions and stuff that probably shouldn't have. But do you feel inspired when you see someone like Chris Statlander or some of these other ladies that had these injuries and they come back and they're almost stronger than they were before?
Most definitely. Like I've been watching a lot of like Charlotte's videos that she's been posting lately because she's been starting to train again. And like Cora Jade, like a lot of people have been tearing their ACLs recently. So it's like crazy to see all these like top stars being people that are able to come back. And Chris Statlander too, like I know she's been through so much. Yeah. So it's definitely like refreshing to be like, oh, but I definitely see how like on the indies, like people wrestle through injury because I was about to still do Dreamwave. I was about to still do FSW because I was like, well, I mean, I already agreed to do the shows. I'm on the poster. Like, it's just hard because I couldn't walk. Like, there was no way around it. Like, I was like, oh, well, maybe I can work around it. But no, I literally couldn't.
How do you feel about when like a promoter or a company, like, they know you're injured, so they work it into a storyline like backstage? Oh no, they found Brittnie Brooks on the ground, all beat. Oh no, they got a chair on her leg or something. I mean, do you ever feel like there should be a storyline attached to it, or is that just, you might as well just be open?
I mean, it's harder on the indies because we're not like the same character on all these promotions. Yeah. We're not like the same person kind of everywhere. I've gotten the ability to kind of be the same everywhere I go, but like once it gets to announce like at Dreamwave that I'm hurt, I don't want to have like another promotion being like, oh, it's because these girls jumped her. But it's like, no, like I already told them over here that I got hurt. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So as long as everybody kind of just like communicates, like I think when you get injured on the indies, it's a lot harder to be like write off a story kind of. I think you should just be like, oh, like I'm hurt. Like, and I know a ton of girls on the indies have been getting hurt lately. So something's in the air because it's like all knee injuries. It's crazy.
Something's in the air. Well, at least you got yours now, so you can start the healing process. Everybody's saying good luck, Brittnie. Good luck with the surgery. Asuka is walking around now, so I guess that's good. Good luck with the surgery. Everybody's Pepe also has gone through some surgeries too. Our buddy Pepe, he's had some issues, and we got prayers for you. So everybody's rooting for you, and we're excited.
Thank you.
But in the meantime, there's other recreational things that you can indulge in, such as going to the movies.
Yes.
So is this? I noticed behind you a certain movie that just released. Where are you heading in this picture?
To the movies to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine.
All right, what'd you think? Without spoilers, to those who haven't watched it, what did you think?
I thought it was really good. I'm like always been a big MCU fan, and I haven't seen a lot of the X-Men and stuff because I was like, oh, they're not in the MCU. So like there was definitely gaps in my knowledge about things, and I knew that going into it. I even watched like a 25-minute everything you need to know before Wolverine and Deadpool video to make sure that I kind of knew stuff. But it was hard because I was like, I don't know some of the stuff like that's happening, some of the references. But yeah.
Did you hear some people in the crowd pop for stuff and you're kind of like, why are they excited about this
definitely.
or that?
Like for me, like Avengers Endgame or like Spider-Man No Way Home, like I knew everything. Like those were my movies. So like when all stuff like happened in them, I was like, yeah, let's go. I knew all the references, I knew all the catchphrases and everything. And then this one I was like, oh,
like,
I don't know.
Why are you cheering for this person? Well, yeah, and that's cool. I mean, and again, I'm a huge MCU fan. A lot of people are fans of the comics, and that's one of those things where, the meme where the guy's talking to his girlfriend, or is it Johnny Hungy's talking to Anna Jay trying to explain, and she's kind of like, "What?" That was me with my wife, but she was popping for a lot of stuff too. But there's some great Easter eggs, but like there's also some. I think for an MCU movie, I'm hoping this is going to be a good start for some cool stuff. And you got Fantastic Four coming out. You got all kinds of cool stuff coming out. And what they said, Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be crazy. I don't know. That's going to be pretty cool. But, it makes me feel like a child again, just like when I see this picture.
Yeah, that was like Christmas morning. I don't know what year, but I remember I just asked for so many wrestling things. And like those we didn't really ask for, but my mom got them and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Cause it's like it was supposed to be like a spinner belt, but LED. So it plays like Rey Mysterio, it plays John Cena, it plays Batista, it plays
introduce it? Oh, that's
yeah.
Cool. Oh, that's cool. Do you ever wrestle your brother and come in with like Batista's music and do the
not with Batista, but I would be like, okay, I'm John Cena, and then I couldn't get him on my shoulders.
That's really cool. That's awesome. This looks pretty cool. This Pink Jeep tour seems to kind of fit your personality.
Yes, it was so fun. My friends, I was like, this was 2 weekends after I got hurt, so I was like in town, and my friends were like, oh, I wish you were coming to Sedona with us, and I was like, well, I wasn't invited. And they were like, oh, well, we thought you'd be out of town. And I was like, nope, guys, I got hurt, remember? So I wasn't like wrestling anymore. So this was like the first weekend where I didn't actually have a show or anything. So I was like, I want to do something. And I thought it would be a cool photo op. It wasn't, I'm not like a nature person, so it wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. But I got a cool picture out of it, I guess.
Yeah. How long did it take before you're like, you know what? I think I need to go back to civilization.
Like instantly. It was so bumpy. It like wasn't fun. And then the tour guide was just like weird. So I was just like, all right.
Are you all staying overnight? Are you gonna camp out?
They like try to crack jokes. It was like a skipper on the Jungle Cruise, and I'm like, your jokes just aren't funny. Like, I don't know.
That's like I remember we went on a field trip and the tour guide, we passed by a cemetery and they go, oh, there's the old cemetery. People are dying to get in. And I'm just like, dude, no.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Not working. Sometimes, but would you prefer going to visit the most magical place on earth?
Absolutely. You already know. I love Disneyland. It's so much fun, and I cannot wait to go back.
So did they redo the castle? Is that what I've heard?
I think so. I know that they do like stuff for it on Christmas, like they put snow on it and like little Christmas decorations, but I'm not sure. Did they?
I don't know. I know that there's a lot of there's an actual website for, like, they call them Disney files, which that might be a little bit extreme. I don't know for that level. But people, they talk about how many trips they went, what's their count. There's a term called, are you a rope dropper or a sunsetter or a door closer?
I'm both. I rope drop and then go till close. Like, I'm a psychopath. Chris was like, oh my God, why are we still here?
We're still here.
I was like, I'm sorry, but I need to be here all day. Like, it's the whole thing. I'm a Disney adult, okay?
All right, favorite thing to do though? What's the go-to? What's the one thing you must go to?
When I first get to California Adventure, I have to ride Guardians of the Galaxy, and then when I first get to Disneyland, I have to ride Space Mountain. But one of Chris's friends told him this Space Mountain was very crazy and they would make him dizzy. So then he didn't want to ride it. And then like as the day progressed, he was like, okay, let's ride it. And I was like, finally, I normally start with this ride.
Make him dizzy. Yeah, because dude's not very active in TNA or anything at all. He's not very, very active wrestling at all. I don't know. I'm kidding, of course. But so, did you like Space Mountain though? Is that your jam?
Yeah, that's my favorite. I've been to Disneyland so many times. Like I would have an annual pass if I could. Like every time I wrestle in California, I go to downtown Disney. Like I just love it there. It's so fun.
We got Pepe. He has the old foam plastic. Oh, Winged Eagle belt. It still has the WWF logo, so that's old school. It's not even WWE. And Courtney says, "Is that Chris Bay Spy? Is that your Bay?
Yeah.
I mean, do you call him your Bay? Is that kind of? I mean, is that too corny to call him your Bay?
No, I think it's cute."
He's pretty awesome. What do you think that you've mentioned before? In fact, one of my favorite. I didn't put it in our mix here, but one of my favorite videos was where you're taking it to a troll and you told him, hey, you're going to worry about me when I'm main eventing WrestleMania. Wouldn't it be cool someday for you and your Bay to be the double main event at WrestleMania?
That's the goal. That's the dream. And I think if we put our minds to it, then absolutely.
I think, and I want to know your take on it because there's a period of time before like AEW came around where people are really starting to turn on WWE. There were some frustrations. I know there were some things about Vince McMahon, but it seems like now with some of the rotations, with the birth of AEW, the TNA's kind of rising up. Do you feel like we're kind of in a renaissance for wrestling? And then in specifics, how do you feel about where we are with regards to women's wrestling from where we used to be?
I think there's so much wrestling, and I think that indie wrestling has also had like a huge like vamp and like people watching it and people knowing what it was. I know when I was a kid, I literally knew nothing but WWE. Like I didn't even know about TNA. I didn't know that you could go to indie shows. Like I didn't know about anything, and I feel like wrestling is at such a boom right now.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And I think women's wrestling has really, really done a lot. Like, I mean, we're literally on the Mission Pro podcast right now, like an all women's based company.
Yes.
There's also Uprising that's running this Friday for Dreamwave, all women's. Like these shows put on the best cards possible. And like you have all these people, I mean, the first ever women's main event, like women are now having all the same matches, like the Money in the Bank match. Like when I was a kid, I don't think I truly grasped like that women just didn't do those matches. And because I was like, oh, I'm going to be in a Money in the Bank match one day. But I didn't realize that like women didn't even have that back then. And to now be like, oh, they have every single match that the guys do. Like the stuff is so good. Like even the Blood and Guts that they just had with Diamante and
Layla Hirsch, legit.
Yes.
Layla Hirsch. We may be talking about that match a little bit later. Spoiler alert.
Ooh,
might be talking about that match a little later. Definitely. Oh, that was so sick. Yeah, and to talk about like Ring of Honor, I mean, some people can put a good argument that Athena has been really carrying Ring of Honor on her shoulders. I mean, everybody else is tremendous there, but that she's been kind of taking lead and everyone's been following. It's been tremendous. And it just seems like, nowadays there's for every men's gimmick match of some kind, there's a women's match for it. There's women tag team belts. I would love to see a women's Blood and Guts in AEW. I think at some point that might be pretty cool because they just had the men's Blood and Guts, which is like War Games. I don't know if they could do something like that. We do have some questions. Charles, favorite match Brittnie has had so far? I mean, just go through your cage match, and I'm not only amazed at some of the names that I've seen you go up against, but some of the W's you've gotten over, like Masha Slamovich is one that I'm impressed. If you get a W over Masha without interference or cheating, then you definitely have my respect.
Thank you. Yeah, the cage match is very not accurate though. It's missing a lot of matches. I was like, I've had like 40 more matches than what's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know that some of the companies may not be registered as something on Cage Match. I don't really know. I don't know how they keep track of it, but yeah, there's definitely some other matches that like haven't been listed on there. But yeah, the favorite match that I've had was me versus Zeta Steel in October of last year for the first ever Dreamwave Women's Championship. That match will just always hold such a special place in my heart because Jay and everybody at Dreamwave was taking such a chance on having two literal teenagers wrestle for the fate of their company for their first ever women's championship. We were the headliner on IWTV. Just such an iconic match. Like I remember I got so much, like I got an article in PWI for that. And that was all stuff that I never had before. Like I'd never wrestled on Fight TV or IWTV. I had never like been in locker rooms with some of the talent that they have at Dreamwave. So it was just like such a special day. And to be like, the main event was unreal. And then now to see like Zeta absolutely killing it in Japan just makes me so happy because like she's an actual star and she deserves to be recognized for it. And I'm just so honored that I got to share the ring with her because I know her especially is going to go on and do great, great things. And I hope that I someday do as well too.
Well, Matthew's already this is a spoiler alert. This is not a prediction. Matthew, with the spoiler alert, the future legend will headline WrestleMania. Maybe that's your opponent. Maybe someday. I mean, you know what? It could happen. It could happen.
That would be amazing. That's the dream match, me versus Zeta Steel at WrestleMania.
There it is. You can
maybe we'll have different names. I don't know, but
yeah, they like to change the names. You'll be Barbie Buckenheim or something. I don't know. So they'll come up with something else. But, you know, it's interesting is you touched on something there that I think is really a good testament to the state of wrestling from the locker room perspective. You know, how excited you are for your fellow wrestlers and how how excited so much of the independents, so many wrestlers were when Jordan Grace showed up on NXT. You know, when people like everybody's like so supportive. Do you feel like the cutthroat business is gone? Like the days of wrestling? I mean, granted, there's still carnies and stuff, but like, do you feel like the locker rooms for the most part are a lot more supportive, especially the women's locker rooms?
I think for sure. I mean, I can't really speak on it because I wasn't there back in the day. Like I've only really been like on the indies for a year and a half because I did like start wrestling and have my first match at 15. But I had like a few matches and tore my ACL, then came back. And then is when I really, because also COVID happened too. So COVID shut things down, came back, wrestled a few matches, tore my ACL. Then I came back. And then for the past like year and a half, I've been on the indies and I've been like, you know, going hard. So I don't know how things were like, you know, 5 years ago, but I definitely think that there is a lot changing for the better because also in like the society that we live in now, like the bad people can be filtered out very quickly because all we have to do is be like, hey, this person sucks. Like they did this horrible thing. And then instantly, like everyone will be like, all right, like let's stop allowing this person to be in the locker room. So I think that that's a really good thing because you can weed out the people that don't belong. And I think everybody belongs until they give people a reason to not belong. Yeah. And do something really messed up or do something, you know, unacceptable. So
and it's one thing to show remorse, you know, and to learn and grow, but if you're just like this, you know, you're gonna be the same scumbag as you were before. I mean, you know, a snake is a snake kind of thing. I guess I do see that. I mean, I try to leave room for forgiveness for folks, but yeah, it can get crazy. But I will say, oh, by the way, they're calling for Angel's calling for Brittmania is going to be running wild. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? But you think about like where it has come from. The WWE days, WWF days, where it was like bra and panty matches. Now, I'm all for ladies. If you want to show off your body and have that kind of match, go for it. If that's your choice, if you choose to do that. But back then, it seemed like that was the only option. And until like Lita and like Trish Stratus and, you know, Jazz and a lot of the, you know, they were really saying, hey, no, we're defining women's wrestling. It's not divas. And then you had the women's evolution and you had, of course, you had Saraya, which at the time was Paige. You had the 4 horsewomen. That it really has come to a point where now, and I'm curious to know your thoughts on, you mentioned earlier how much trust they put in you, a youngster, to get the title. Because when they give you the strap, that's saying, hey, we want you to be the face of our company. We want you to be the face of our promotion. You see the likes of like Billy Starks, Nick Wayne, our current Mission Pro champion, Izzy Moreno, who went from a little girl crying because Sasha Banks messed with her beau to now she's our Mission Pro champion. Do you think that like there's more of a trust now with the younger talent, or is it more because you started so young, you're hitting the ground running at 19?
Yeah, I think that it's incredible. Like, I was super happy to see that Nick Wayne won. And like with Billy being champion, like Billy is so good. Like I literally aspire to be how good she is. And she's so young. Like the crazy thing is she has so many more years to get so much better. And she's already literally so good. Like I've had the pleasure of wrestling her once, and I was supposed to wrestle her last month, but obviously I got hurt, which kind of sucks. But yeah, and like I think the young people are really taking over. Like if you look at the indies, most people are young now. And it's like, it's crazy because we're taking over. So everybody needs to start watching their back.
Yeah. Hey, don't sleep, Grandpa. But it doesn't seem like the industry is still cutthroat. Like, it seems there's a lot of the old veterans seem to be more of the mindset of taking the youngsters under their wings and really helping them establish who they are, work on not just the in-ring stuff, but your character, the things to look out for, just all kinds of things. And also, how to make sure that, watch out for the pitfalls that they fell into.
Absolutely.
Have you had any of that experience where some of the mentors have really taken under your wing? And
oh, absolutely. Literally, in May, I was at Double or Nothing, and Thunder sat with me and Zamaya and just talked to us for like the longest time and was telling us all things that like she had experienced when she was younger and stuff that like broke her, but she was able to rise up against. And that like helped me and cleared a lot up in my head. Like, she's just such a great mentor. And like, you could see that she genuinely cares, hence why she has Mission Pro. There's been so many people though to take me and just really help me. Like almost every single person I've ever wrestled, I'm always so appreciative to, whether the match was good, bad, in between, whether I messed up, whether we messed up collectively, like everything has always taught me, and you're only as good as your worst match. So I think that there's just like, there's so many days that you're going to have that you get to redo it and retry it and just keep getting better. And I think it's definitely a lot more of people helping out people and genuinely wanting to see others succeed. Chris always tells me how important it is to always clap for others, because you can only do so much by yourself. Like you might as well help and be glad and support everybody around you, because it is such a cutthroat business, but it is getting a lot better. And there's room for a lot of people at the top. Hence, like right now, like there's so many top stars in WWE, like so many people, like John Cena, for example, has always been a job, but I'm sure there was a time where he was like the top star. Now there's like top stars. Like people buy a ticket, and they buy a ticket to see Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley and the whole Judgment Day and LA Knight and Randy Orton. Like, they're looking to watch all these people, whereas like there's not just like one top star anymore. So there's a ton of room for everybody at the top.
Yeah, there's not just one main character, there's a whole cast. It's an ensemble. Of course, we're a little biased to Thunder a little here. We're just a little biased, but that's to be given here. And the chat's a little bit biased, and they're even admitting it there. But speaking of bias, what is your bias when it comes to your granted, Britney Spears is kind of fits with the whole Brittnie Brooks, I'm Brittnie bitch, but I understand that there's a musical diva that you're more into, or at least used to be. There's a little bit of a fan of Miss Ariana there. Am I right? Is that Ariana?
So I loved Ariana.
So is this the wall? Is this the wall of stanship, or what is going on here?
No, so that was actually at her concert. She came to Arizona twice one year.
So this isn't your bedroom. Okay. All right. This is
No.
all right. Just making sure.
Nah, she came to Arizona twice one year, and I was so happy. Like, I was always like, oh my gosh, like I want to sit pit. I want to do all these things. And I never really got to sit pit. She doesn't really do concerts anymore, which kind of sucks. But no, I was such a big Ariana Grande fan. Recently, I've been really loving Olivia Rodrigo. But yeah, I feel like it was a while because Ariana didn't post any music for like years in there. And it's not that I don't love her anymore, but it's just like, it's been a while, you know. She's luckily starting to post more music again, but yeah.
Well, sometimes, you know, artists, they got to take a break. They got to rekindle and figure out what's going on. Oh, we got some Ari fans in here. Courtney wants to know, are you going to see her in Wicked? Is she in Wicked?
Yes, I just saw the trailer to that movie and I was like, oh my God, Ariana's in it. I have to go watch it. I'm for sure going to watch it because she's
done. You got to. And then you got to make some time for some carpool karaoke.
Yes. That's so funny, Will. That was on the way to, oh no, that was just carpool karaoke. We did another episode that never dropped, but it was like on the way to El Paso because we had like a 6-hour drive and we just did it for like hours.
What's your go-to karaoke songs?
Ooh, I feel like obviously "Give Me More" by Britney Spears.
Yeah,
I've heard that song so many times now. Like it literally haunts me in my sleep.
It should be your entrance music. There's an idea.
I also love like "Never Gonna Give You Up." That one's iconic.
Brilliant.
I don't know. Like I just love all different kinds of music.
Of course the chat's fallen in love with you already. But do you like Billie Eilish?
I mean, I don't listen to her all that much, so it's not like I'm kind of like indifferent to Billie Eilish. I don't listen to her enough to be like, oh, I love her, or oh, I don't like her.
But you don't dislike her, okay? So you wouldn't rule her out.
I definitely don't dislike her.
You can only have so much room for you got to rank your favorites. So you know, Linkin Park that's some people are saying Linkin Park is a go-to. That's a good kind of rock out group. That any of their songs would be good. Valid. And here we go. Is it this prom or homecoming?
That was my first homecoming, I think. No, was that? No, yeah, that was my first homecoming. It was junior year. Right? No, sophomore year. I don't remember.
Well, it's pretty cool though, because here it is. You have the badass in the ring. She can still put on a dress and look pretty, and then she's gonna unpretty your face in the ring in a death match or something. That's pretty cool. And then this looked pretty awesome. You got to do bingo. Is this what it was? Or
no,
raffle?
So it was a raffle. So I've been working a lot with the You Are More, which is a mental health awareness company. They make those awesome little shirts that say You Are More embroidered. Their mission is to really help people with what they're going through because everybody's going through something, but you are more than that. You are more than whatever your mind wants to tell you you are. So I've been like, obviously really close with the You Are More, and then the Mendez brothers are the people who run it. They had like a little client appreciation event for their real estate company, and I was in Chicago because I was gonna do SmackDown the night before, but then I got hurt, so I couldn't. So I just kind of like stayed there, and then everything had already been bought for like the flight and everything. They were originally going to do like a private wrestling show, but a lot of wrestlers kind of fell through. So then they were like, do you want to just come to our private client event? So then they did that, and they were raffling off something. I don't remember, but everybody was donating and all the proceeds went to You Are More. And I think they raised like $600 or $700 just from like, and it was a private event. So that's like really cool.
That is awesome. And do you ever find yourself fighting like imposter syndrome or some of those, what are some of the internal battles that you've been able to overcome? Because you come across as a very level-headed, positive person. I know, but I know that that's just on the out what we see. But I mean, do you have any of those battles and any advice for people going through their stuff?
I definitely do, especially right now being injured. I can't help but think like all these things that like people are doing, like I'm so excited for them, but like I wish that I was doing, this stuff. And it's really hard because like wrestling is constantly moving and I'm injured and I'm stuck while the world is still spinning. I'm just here. And it's a lot to think about. And it's a lot that I tend to dwell in like all the time. And I've been trying really hard too to like, I have a broadcast channel on Instagram that I always try to like send positive messages to, because I know that everybody is always going through something and nobody has perfect days all the time. Like there's so many times where I'm like upset at myself because I was like, I literally tore my ACL doing a crossbody that I've done so many times because I decided to put my leg down. Like if I would have just kept my leg up, like I would have been fine. Right. And I'm like, I should have just put my leg up. Like, why was I so dumb? Like, why did I do that? But what's done is done and there's like no going back. So I think it's really hard to stay positive sometimes. And that's like been the biggest, like I've been going through my most mental battles recently. Like all of the things that I love are getting taken away from me right now. And there's nothing I can do about it except keep moving forward and keep working hard each and every single day to come back. But also it's hard too, because like for the past 2 months, I haven't been able to do rehab. I haven't been able to heal because I haven't even gotten surgery yet. So it's like I feel very stuck. But I know that these times will pass. I'm very close to getting this surgery and I'm very close to, moving past this and all these like negative thoughts. And once the surgery happens, like it'll finally be time for me to actually start recovering.
You're gonna be like a hungry wolf when once you're done, you're gonna be like,
oh yeah, I'm starting to bend my leg right away.
Yeah, let's go. And again, going back to like Charlotte Flair and and all of the wrestlers that have been injured, taken out, and then they come back and it's epic and they're stronger than before. That's something to keep telling yourself too. The Brittnie maniacs are all in your corner. We're all in your corner here. Angel wants she want to get that shirt. She's got money. Ion have money. Oh, I don't have money, but eventually will. Love the message. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, we'll see if we could. Can you buy those shirts, or is there a place?
Yeah. Right now they actually have a crossover with TNA Wrestling. So on TNAmerch.com, they have the You Are More suplex the stigma on the back, and then they also just have like the shirts. I think if you reach out to their Instagram, they're selling them, like the embroidered You Are More, and then they have like a pink variant. So there's a lot of options.
Oh, pink variant. Gee, would you like that one?
I have that one. It was
nice.
For Breast Cancer Awareness Month last year. But I say it's the Brittnie Brooks shirt.
Well, and is that like when Breast Cancer Awareness Month comes out, is that an opportunity for you to get some cool merch? Because, you're like, hey, I'm going to wear this all year long for me.
Everything's pink. It's great. And especially because my mom had breast cancer. So like, it's definitely really special to like seeing all the pink stuff.
We got, you're going to come back better than ever. Everybody knows this is going to be it. Matthew says you should be a motivational speaker. Love that. Definitely. And, cutting promos. That's when the wrestling goes, you can start some TED Talks and maybe be host a mental health podcast. Charles wants to know what your finisher is. Is it a Brittnie bitch or something like that? What is?
Yeah, it's the Brittnie bitch. It's like a Eye of the Hurricane. If you guys ever saw Hurricane, he like hooks from underneath and then throws the elbow over, and then like you go down with them.
Nice, very cool. Coke, by the way, my grandmother's 18 years breast cancer free. Congratulations, Pepe, to grandma. That's awesome. Well, I'd love for you to help me talk a little bit about some of the news in wrestling. Would you like to run through some of the cool stuff going on and get your perspectives?
Yes, I can't stay for too much longer. I'm very sorry, but I could stay for like 10 more minutes.
We'll make it very quick. And
okay.
But let's really quickly go through some quick rundown of the women's wrestling news. All right. First of all, congratulations to Mission Pro alumni Red Velvet. She defeated Billy Starks on Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, becoming the new women's TV champion. Love that Red Velvet is getting that gold around her waist. Look at the tears. Have you had the opportunity to wrestle or watch Red Velvet in the ring?
I have had the opportunity, and also she's just been such like another person that's like a mentor. Like I was actually on Ring of Honor a few months ago, and the match was just not the greatest experience ever. And she was just so like kind to me after, like giving me advice and just helping me, you know, through it and everything. And I don't know, I think she's a great person. I love Billy too.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks that they had to wrestle each other, because I was like, I want Billy to win, but I also want Red Velvet to win. But I'm really happy for Red Velvet, and I think she's just so good. She's so good.
That is kind of a dilemma when you're wrestling your friends, but you got to be these characters, and we're enemies, but then behind the scenes you're like, oh, we kicked ass, yeah. having those moments. It was such a great moment too. I think we're all excited for Red Velvet to get that gold. She well deserved, and I think overdue as well. I think we're everybody saying stir it up in the chat, stir it up. That more developments with the match coming up at All In. You've got, you know, everybody suspecting that Jamie Hayter. I don't know. Do you watch much AEW?
I try to like keep up on all wrestling, but I know that there's just so much happening right now.
Yeah.
I'm like slightly overwhelmed, but I know once I get the knee surgery, I'm going to be bedridden. So I'm probably going to watch everything.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to, everybody in the chat, put some key matches that you want Brittnie to go see. I mean, TNA has really been getting growing on my radar lately.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got some of my favorites. Masha Slamovich. It's got, you know, Jordan Grace is fantastic. And I'm also a big, are you a fan of, who's that guy from Scotland that was over
Joe Hendry?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
It's amazing. Maybe someday we'll have the Brittnie versus Joe Hendry matchup. You know, you just got to say his name and we'll get there. All right, Mariah May versus Willow Nightingale is a suggestion.
Ooh, okay.
Angel says help. But well, just really quickly, the you know, this is, you know, the former Sasha Banks, now Mercedes Moné. Camille Brickhouse is now like her enforcer, and people are speculating that they're setting up for a Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker versus Mercedes and Camille. But last Wednesday night, last night, Mercedes hinted at forming a corporation where she's going to have some more people joining with her, and people are thinking it's the Renegade Twins from Mission Pro. So
okay.
I don't know if you had a chance to wrestle Robin or Charlotte, but they could be joining that faction. Really quickly, we're real excited about Toni Storm. What do you think about Toni Storm's performance?
This is great. I've been seeing a lot on Instagram about this one. I love Mariah May. She's so cool. And she's just like so gorgeous. And so is Toni Storm too. And I think that her character is just incredible. And I think she's just doing so well. Like it takes a true professional to like pull off what she's doing. And you could not find a better person to do this. And it's super interesting. It's super intriguing. Like I always will stop scrolling and watch all the videos that are happening like with Toni and Mariah, because it's just very entertaining.
It's so good. And, you know, they're both so great at this. And this matchup has been such a like lightning in a bottle. And I'm excited to see what happens at All In London for that. This weekend, there's a small little independent show called SummerSlam. You know, yeah, I think there are only about 50 people in attendance, you know, but no, it's gonna be awesome. But you know, a lot of focus is on the Liv versus Mommy match and the whole thing with Dom. I don't know if you've been following any of the storyline.
Oh, yes, I have. It's so entertaining too. They're killing it.
What a great balance. And you know, you got to give it to Liv. I mean, you know, Rhea Ripley and Liv in the ring, fantastic, but the story development and just the acting that they've been doing has been tremendous. I just think that's awesome. And the whole, you know, her manipulating Dom, or is mommy what's gonna happen? Is Dom gonna turn on mommy? Any predictions?
I personally wouldn't turn on mommy. Like, that's mommy, bro. Like, I personally wouldn't. Like, do you see Rhea? But also, Liv is also gorgeous. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, I see Dom's like issues. This feels like very much like some AJ Lee's type stuff. And I was obsessed with AJ Lee. So like it's really cool to see like some of that stuff kind of coming back. And I don't know, this like I'm so excited to see what happens in the match. And also the Bayley versus Nia Jax, that is gonna be really exciting too.
I honestly, when it first was like being announced, I was kind of meh until I saw this promo. The split screen and Bayley, they've hyped this up so much. This is going to be tremendous.
I want Tiffany Stratton to cash in. I love Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah,
she's so good. She's like caught on so quickly. She's just so talented. Like, and I love everything that she's doing. And I want her to cash in, but at the same time, I don't want her to cash in because I want her to like get a pink briefcase. But if she doesn't do it, I'll do it one day. So maybe we'll just save her the trouble. We just make her cash in right now.
The pink briefcase. We gotta make it happen. It's Tiff. Somebody there, Bobby saying it's Tiffany time. It's Tiffy time. I guess that's that match is going to be good. A lot of people are excited about both of these, and the potential. So. There you go. There's your path to WrestleMania. Is you're going to win Money in the Bank, and you're going to be Miss Brittnie Bank, and we're going to come up with that.
In the bank.
We also have coming up in a couple Saturday on August 17th. We've got Midsummer Blast. These are our three key title matches. Really, the Izzy Moreno, our current champion. Thunder Rosa is testing her with the first Mission Pro champion, La Rosa Negra. She's going to be basically taking Izzy to school. But a lot of people are talking that this is going to be a good feather in her cap. If she can overcome La Rosa Negra, that this is really going to legitimize our already title run. Again, Izzy, we've got, this is the youngsters are taking over. Is that what's going on?
Absolutely. I'm so rooting for Izzy. I've been waiting for Izzy to get this title since the day I found out that she was wrestling, like starting to wrestle. Like, I'm so excited for her. And I know that she has a lot of learning to do and a lot to gain. And I think that this match is going to be so, so good. Izzy's going to kill it. I think she's still going to walk out champion because she has so much to prove. And what I've learned is the most dangerous people are those who have that much to prove. And when she starts knocking off all these people one by one, she's going to be on top and she's going to be one of the greatest. And I cannot wait to see what she does with that championship.
Do you feel like it's harder? It's been harder for Izzy because she's kind of been in the spotlight and it's harder for people to take her seriously because of where she came from.
It is, but also I think I really love how she really stays true to herself. Like, it's like a million people trying to be like, oh, grow up. Oh, act a certain way. No, act how you want to act. Because at the end of the day, you've gotten yourself to the dance. You can keep yourself at the dance. You don't need other people to have their approval. Like, she's such a positive light for so many young girls and boys. And she's so good at being so just amazing. I don't even know how else to say.
No, she absolutely right, and she has really put a lot of the haters and naysayers to rest because number one, Mission Pro doesn't put the strap on you unless you deserve it, and she has earned it tremendously. She's a student of the business. She wants this so bad that she made so many sacrifices and continues to work. This is not somebody that just one day decided, oh, I'm going to be a wrestler and then, just automatically walks in. She's been tremendous. So I agree. And I think the sky's the limit for her, but it wouldn't be a bad thing to see a 19-year-old coming off of ACL surgery in rehab to maybe take that belt from her someday. I don't know.
I mean,
maybe make it pink.
Izzy inspires a lot of people. But I was there first, and inspire a lot of people as well. And that belt would look great around my waist. And I will, in fact, be 20 once I come back from the surgery. So, I mean,
what a great way to celebrate your return. Then perhaps
exactly.
I don't know. Hear that,
I'm
Izzy?
trying to collect belts everywhere. So Mission Pro will literally just be the perfect place to start that collection.
Belt collector Brittnie Brooks. I like that. And are you gonna turn every belt you collect pink? You're gonna change the leather to pink for everyone?
Absolutely. I will get the spray paint out and ready.
Well, Brittnie, I appreciate you hanging with us. There's one more thing we got to talk about before we go. I promise we'll keep it quick. But we hinted at the beginning of the show. Got to talk about the banger of the week. And I think you and I agree that this match was because you've already mentioned it. But let's talk about this week's banger of the week.
Hold on to your Kulos Mission Pro fans. Rock on, it's the banger of the week.
You got to talk about the Texas Death Match, Death Before Dishonor, Diamante versus Layla Hirsch. Did you get a chance to watch this in full?
I didn't, but I saw a lot of clips online, and some of that stuff looked insane.
Unbelievable. If you get a chance, if you're not a Watch Ring of Honor Honor Club member, you can watch the full pay-per-view at Honor Club. But if you get a chance on YouTube, there are highlights. And let me tell you about some highlights here. Right off the bat, Layla Hirsch comes out. She doesn't even go down to the ring. She just stops and she just sits down in the chair waiting for Diamante to come out and just gives her the chair. A couple of my favorite spots. Did you see the chancla?
No, I didn't, but I see that in that photo and I love it.
the chancla, and then this picture right here is Layla. She's doused Diamante with Tax, laid her out on Tax, then dumped Tax on top of her. Then she did a moonsault and landed. Is that the alarm that we got to get going? Is that the Brittnie alarm?
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
But hear that.
These are a couple highlights. I highly recommend you guys check it out. But the spot that really got everybody was the moonsault off the ladder into the table. It was tremendous. So definitely that is our banger of the week. But to close out, Brittnie, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for spending your time and spreading a little pink love to the Mission Pro family. We all wish you a very speedy recovery. We're looking forward to you coming back and becoming the belt collector. We know that's going to happen. And we do seriously wish you a very speedy recovery. And you just know whenever you're starting to feel a little bit down, you've got so many people in your corner rooting for you.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you giving me the spotlight today.
Absolutely. And just so everybody, if you don't know where to find her, we've got the Brittnie Brooks on Instagram and Brittnie Brooks on X, and there's, that's the tasteful, wholesome photo we got there. Absolutely. Well, Brittnie, thank you so much. And Mission Pro family, on behalf of Brittnie and everybody and all you Brittnie maniacs out there, we'll see you next time and have a great weekend.
Thank you, guys.